Hello, welcome back to our little part of the world, our summer world, or part of our summer world. We're in Ripon, in God's own county, Yorkshire. That's a bit more precise, in North Yorkshire. And we're just walking up to where we keep the motorhome at this time of year. And when we get there, we'll tell you a little bit about our plans coming up very shortly.
Monday, in fact.
This Monday, if you're watching this, it's probably Sunday. What day was it?
26th.
Sunday the 26th, you'll be watching this. And our plans are going to go ahead tomorrow, Monday. And we're going to bring you all that news in a moment. Let's just get up here. We're actually walking down the old railway track that Beach enclosed, along with many others in the 60s. But let's get to the van. There she is, hiding in that car park, just behind this old telephone box. We are going to be making some fairly big changes to our channel, I think, in the upcoming months, certainly for the rest of this year. But for the meantime, there she is. There's our beloved, lovely van. I've got some tape up there. I need to pull it off, actually. I don't need it on. It was, I couldn't get the awning back in properly, so I had to adjust the tensioner. In the meantime, I just put some tape around it.
Did you bring the keys for the van?
I brought the keys for the van, yeah.
Oh, good.
So she's been sitting here for a few weeks. She's looking a little bit grubby. Anyway, let's get inside and have a little chat. And we'll fill you in. And here we are in the van. And we're going to tell you about our plans, which begin tomorrow, if you're watching this video on Sunday, as I've just said.
Yeah.
We're going on a road trip.
We are.
We're going to France. The intention was to take the motor home and drive down to France and stop in free airs and
Campsites.
cheap campsites, do campsite reviews on our ways as we're going around and tell you all about where you can go.
And that's what we really wanted to do.
Yeah, we're going to show you where you can park up, what the places are like. But you might be like us at the moment, pondering your future of
What to do.
motorhome life and what to do with the vehicle. And that's all because of the price of fuel and the availability or lack thereof.
I don't think there's a lack of availability yet in France, but we're going to go for 3 weeks and we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, not 3 months.
We've had
to reduce down.
We wanted to go. We originally booked the ferry for 2 months because we were going to go in our motorhome and travel 1, 2, 3.
You didn't need to do that, really. The plan was 2 months all around France with the intention of going back to the place where we used to work. We did 4 seasons on a campsite in France.
So we really wanted to stay on the campsite as customers and just reminisce.
For at least one of those weeks.
Yeah.
And we were going to carry on around and try all different campsites. But because of the fuel situation and the low mileage we get to the motorhome as well, I think that's the main consideration. Is the motorhome does 25 to the gallon.
And it's diesel.
Diesel. So the costs are quite high. I'll tell you the costs later on. I'll do the costs for the diesel costs for the motorhome, plus the ferry's dearer. Is it a lot dearer or just a bit dearer?
I don't know. I can't. I've not priced. Well,
I did price it. Question. Come on.
No. Well, when
I booked it.
I booked it
in the motorhome. Yeah.
I booked it in the motorhome and I changed the registration. It wasn't any dearer or it wasn't any cheaper.
Why would you change registration? Tell them.
Oh yeah, we changed the registration because we're going in our car now. We've just got a newish car because ours were knackered.
Yeah, we came back from Spain. We were deciding whether to get rid of the car anyway. We'd left it parked up over winter, and it was it's beautiful. It was a beautiful car to drive, and the interior were lovely, but everything else about it were on its way out. So when we came back, we had to make a decision: get rid of the car and just use a motorhome as a day vehicle, or get rid of the motorhome and buy a car. Well, we didn't do either. We did one. We bought a car, and we're keeping the motorhome for as long as we can.
Yeah.
So the car we got is a hybrid, which probably does about 65 to the gallon. So when you look at the price of the motorhome fuel at 25 miles to the gallon, there's a big discrepancy.
But it'll all balance out anyway, because
I know it balances out because
of that we're using hotels, we've got one campsite booked and apartments.
You booked 10 days already, haven't you?
I've booked 10 days and there's another 11 to go, which I haven't booked.
We've got a few days in a pod on the coast, a wooden tent. We've got a couple of Airbnb type places. We've also got a hotel in Tours in the Loire Valley.
We've got a couple of hotels, I think.
Well, the main one is for 3 days, isn't it?
The main one for 3 days when we go to Tours.
Yeah. So we're going to go all over the shop when we get down to Tours. And of course the car's handy for getting out and about rather than using the motorhome. Because of course, as you well know, when you're parked on a campsite and you want to go somewhere, if you've no bicycles or you're not towing a car, you've got to go in your motorhome, which means stripping everything down and making sure everything's secure, then driving off and hoping your picture's there when you come back. And of course,
someone hasn't pinched it, eh?
Yeah, and of course when you come back, when you go where you're going, you've got to find a big enough spot to park your motorhome. So looking at everything, but particularly the cost of fuel, we decided we'd do something completely different. So it's a change anyway.
And because of the diesel, whether or not the diesel
availability. I mentioned that,
yeah.
But we do like change. We're not afraid of change, so we are doing something completely different. And we haven't had a summer holiday for years, have we?
No.
Literally years.
No, probably we've always worked on campsites for
15 years. We've just had winter holidays, so we wanted a summer holiday. And we think, as much as we love to do it in the motorhome, going in a car and being able to get out and about to all the different towns and just go off everywhere at quite a low cost in fuel should be interesting and nice. And we'll show it. We're taking the cameras with us, so we'll be showing you everything.
What we're going to do as well, we're going to try and go to, when we go to places, if there's any camping, like Mont Richard, we're going to go to Mont Richard, and we know there's a nice little campsite there called Colour Le Monde, and we're going to try and go in there and film a bit. You may want to go in a campsite like that, the camping airs, if we find any camping airs, because we'd be interested as well for if we come out another time in our motorhome.
Yeah, if everything settles down, we are going to carry on using the motorhome.
Yeah.
So we'll be looking at different campsites, maybe having a wander around, and as Cath said, the camping car airs, the little airs in the towns, different places. But we will show you, we'll actually show you, there will be some people who want to maybe try the way we're doing it this time.
Yeah.
So we'll show you the accommodation of everywhere we've gone. We'll give you the cost of it.
Yeah. How much it'll cost us, because we are going to try and, again, another budget, but we'll have to try. It's going to be a lot easier this time. There's only the two of us, because in Spain we do a lot of socialising, because there's a lot of people who come across and there's people who live there that we know.
So you end up going out more often.
Yeah. But we're on his own, we're on his Todd, aren't we?
And because we've got a low budget anyway, I don't know if we'll be going out and having loads of meals and drinks everywhere.
And at how much? Roughly €9 a pint. We don't what we're drinking, will we?
So,
we might have a glass of wine. We'll see how much wine is.
We'll be sitting in parks or on beach with a bottle of beer. I know we won't really.
No,
but so we'll save money on fuel, but it will cost us more to stay there, because we'll be using accommodation, which is not like €15 a night on a camping car air, or free in a village.
Yeah.
We will have to pay out for the accommodation, obviously, but it's completely different to a motorhome, so we're looking forward to doing that anyway.
We are.
The other way
I mean, we've only just booked, we've waited till the last minute to see how things are, and then we've just changed everything around, because we don't know, you just don't know what's happening.
Change your plans as you go. No wrong with being adventurous. But we were saying about cost. We will cook in some of the apartments. Some of the accommodation has got cooking facilities, but we will end up having to eat out or buy microwave meals, things like that. But we'll try and do it cost effectively. We can't go and eat in fancy restaurants for 21 days.
No.
At €70 a time for two of us. It's easy to work that out.
Well,
for
see how
21
much,
days. It's 1,500 quid.
See
that's
how
just
much
for one
plat
meal.
de jours are in the afternoon. Obviously, we won't be doing many of them, but we might do a couple.
That's what I said. We'll be trying to look for budget meals. And again, with the motorhome, you don't have to worry about that. You can cook in your motorhome. But then, do you want to do that? We don't know. And we are. I don't know if you can work finances out, and you know that I've got one pension. You can work out that
A motorhome.
The pension's not enough for our lifestyle.
We've got a motorhome, we've got a car, we've got a place in Spain, and we've got a static.
Yeah.
So somewhere along the line, in the future, something's got to give.
Yeah, maybe sooner rather than later.
Maybe.
We'll see after this winter, won't we?
Yeah, we'll see. We're going to see how things go.
We would have been retired to Spain fully, probably fully by now. And that would be maybe without the motorhome, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We'd have just took a car down there.
But we've got things going on down
There's
in
things
Spain
we can't talk
about. But once it's sorted, we'll let you know.
Yeah. So that's for a future video.
Yeah.
In fact, the story would make a good
It would make a really good video, but we can't say anything. So we'll just have to wait for it to be sorted.
I'm going to show you a little map of where we've got booked so far. And then as we go along through the videos when we're there, when we start, if I do some editing when we're there, I might just film everything, bring it back home and edit when we get back home. But we'll be showing you everywhere we've gone on a map, and also as I said before, all the costs and everything. And we'll show you where we used to work.
We will.
Yeah. What were you just saying when the camera were off?
What about? I can't remember.
10 seconds ago, and she complains about me being seen.
About going to Le Moulin. We worked at a place called Le Moulin Fort in Chenonceau, and we did 4 seasons there, didn't we?
Yeah, 4 fantastic seasons.
Yeah.
Loved it, didn't we?
So we're definitely going down there, and we're going to go for a look round. And depending on what happens, we don't know yet. There's like a fete thing that they do.
Oh yeah,
in June,
with
big American trucks and things like that, and it's a.
We won't be there in 3 weeks.
No, not in June.
Back? Yeah, if the fuel situation calms down, we might.
But that's not a definite. That's not a definite. Oh, and before I forget. Oh no, it's okay. We'll carry on.
Yeah, if the fuel situation calms down, we might end up coming back to Ripon, spending a little time in the static, then going back down to France in the motorhome, and doing a little bit more zooming around there. Yeah. Everything depends on fuel costs, doesn't it?
And what happens. Yeah.
But the motorhome, we could. The motorhomes are very expensive, as I'm sure a lot of you know. And if you're like us and you've not got a good income, and you tend to use your savings for things, well, the savings eventually run out. But you'll know that when you add up the cost of a motorhome, the insurance is expensive. If you want to get more than 90 days in Europe, if you're able to do more than 90 days. So if you want to get 120 days, which is we did last time, 120, you need insurance for your motorhome to cover that. That boosts it right up. Then you've got to get your breakdown cover. And again, once you go over 90 days, it costs even more. The price of the fuel...
You know what the answer to that is, don't you? Don't do more than 90 days.
Yeah, I know, but it's winter, isn't it? You want to get away in winter.
Yeah, don't want to come back here when it's cold.
Yeah, but the miles per gallon, as we've discussed, 25 to the gallon, makes it an expensive mode of transport. And we don't have a house back here that we rent out to somebody for $1,000 a month.
So we don't get income.
We don't earn money on YouTube, so there's no income there. So we do try and budget a little bit. It's gone out the window, hasn't it? These savings are going to be gone in no time at all.
Yeah.
But then a school friend of mine died a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
And as you know, when you get to a certain age, it's more funerals than weddings. So anything can happen. So that's why people might think we're a bit...
Frivolous.
Not frivolous, a bit... we're not sensible. because we're spending money that we really should save. But then if you save it and you drop dead tomorrow, you know, there's no point. So that's the state of play at the
We're not
moment.
at a critical stage yet in our finances, are we?
I thought you were going to say we're not at a cricketer stage. No, we're not watching cricket on a Sunday afternoon with a glass of Pimm's.
Is it
Critical, you know what it is.
Critical, yeah, critical, yeah. No, we're not there yet.
No, so that's the state of play.
Yeah.
We're going off for 3 weeks. We're going to take you with us.
Yeah.
If you're interested, I hope you are.
I hope you are, because it's, we know it's not motorhoming, but it may be places that you might want to go to, and if there's camping cars, camping car airs, there may be, like Mick was saying, you might want to go do a road trip in your car and just do hotels and things like that, just as a change. Yeah,
if we can do it, maybe you can do it. We're not doing it like a lot of van lifers. We're not van lifers, obviously.
No.
We get a lot of van lifers, we watch them and they say, just do it. Anybody can do it. Well, we know you can't. Most ordinary people can't just do it unless they've got an income. We've just had the big culture shock, of course, going down from 2 full-time wages with very little outgoings, living on a campsite, to having to fend for ourselves with very minimal income. I know I'm going on about money again, but it is important, because people, when they talk about just do it, you only got one life, you still have to be able to afford it. And when you run out of money, you're buggered. We think we're very lucky. We're fortunate. We're very fortunate. We're fortunate to have what we've got. Really are fortunate to have. So the main thing, of course, is the main thing we've got is health. Health is wealth. Health is wealth. Yeah. Yeah. So whilst we've got a bit of health, we're going to go off and do things. Yeah, we are. And we really do appreciate when people comment, don't we? Yeah. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Oh, we've got new subscribers. Quite a few new subscribers. Yeah. And we appreciate that. And I hope you motorhomers don't disappear, because we're still doing our motorhoming, aren't we? We will. Yeah, we're going to do it for quite a while, I think. Yeah. And but then things change with us. It could change next week. We weren't buying a new car. We weren't. We've changed cars. We weren't. We had no choice, had we? I took the car to the garage. It cost me 200 quid to find out it was going to cost me 1,000 to fix it, and that wouldn't guarantee it'd go through the MOT either. No. So unfortunately, and it was rusty as anything underneath, you said, didn't you? Oh, it was coming off in lumps underneath. Yeah. So it was a bit of a beast. It had pulled 2 ton. Very comfortable. It was 11-year-old. 11-year-old. It had to go. It had to go. So our new little car, we can't get out in it. It's that tiny. It's really small. Yeah. But so I went down to Bradford the other day, and it was showing 79 miles to the gallon. Well, if we can do that in France, we might stay longer. Change the ferry back and stay longer. You never know. I don't think so. We can't afford the accommodation and the food, can we? You never know. But it's probably going to be 3 weeks. Yeah. Because we've not booked anything more, because Mick's worried about the weather. If the weather's bad, we can chase the weather. But I said, just take the apartment keys for Spain, just in case. Yeah, I'll show you on this map. I'll tell you where we're going. We're setting off Newhaven to Dieppe. We've got 1 night in Dieppe. Yeah. Then we're off down to Chartres. One night there. Chartres. Then we're going down to Tours to spend 3 nights in a hotel there, and we're going to go out and about from Tours to where we used to go when we. We've already said that. Yeah. Okay. So then off to different, maybe some chateaus. We might get some. I want to go to one particular chateau, which I'm sure you'll love if I show you it. Cath's not keen on it. We went there, it was chucking it down. Yeah. But the chateau itself's interesting. So we're going to do things like that. Then we're going out to the coast, south of La Rochelle. Yeah, we looked at La Rochelle, but they were too expensive. And it was parking as well. And parking, yeah. So we're going to go south of La Rochelle, then we're going up to Saint-Hilaire de Riez. That's on the beach, isn't it? Near the beach. Yeah. In a little house, a little bungalow, little duty type thing, yeah. And then from there we're going up to La Boule. We've got one booked at La Boule, have we? No, we're going to Royan. Oh, Royan. Oh, we've got the campsite as well. No, we're doing a campsite in Royan as well. I think it's Tours, then the campsite. And Royan. That's Royan, the campsite. And then we're going up to. And then we're going to that Saint-Hilaire place. Saint-Hilaire de Riez, and then we're going up to La Boule. In that area, have you booked up there? La Boule's booked. That's the last one that got booked. Right, so we're booked up to La Boule. But if the weather changes and if it's really bad weather on the coast, we were going to go up and around Normandy and Brittany and back to the ferry port. But if the weather changes, we'll go back inland or we'll chase the sun. But that's what adventure's about. That's why you've got to keep open sometimes. Well, most of the time we do, don't we? Apart from, we have got something booked, haven't we? We've got 2 things booked right at the end of this 2026. Oh, is it the end of 2026? We've got 1 thing booked, which we hope you'll come with us on that trip as well. But we'll tell you about that near the date.
Yes, we will. And we're still going back to Spain in winter in November.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to move this motorhome, and if I think of anything else, when we get back to the static.
But I'll just say before we go, we said that we'd say hello to Paul and Shirley on the campsite. Paul had an accident.
Oh, he fell off his roof, the daft bugger.
Yeah, and he were in a bad state, but he's getting well now. So get well soon, and we'll see you out and about, you two. And thanks for watching and subscribing.
He does say he's told us he watches them all. So
yeah,
if he
so
don't
this will be a test.
Yeah, if he don't say out next time, then he's not. And a shout out to all our subscribers, the long running ones. Thank you very much.
A bit past its sell-by date.
What these are?
Yeah.
Not really.
I think they are.
Right, we're back in the static. So I'll just do a little recap. Let me just turn around over here. Yeah, right, so a little recap. Now, before anyone panics, no, we haven't given up on the motorhome life or our dream of retiring to Spain, definitely not. But let's be real, the world's changing, the fuel crisis is hitting hard, and our van only gets 25 to the gallon. So between skyrocketing diesel costs and the fear of shortages across the channel in Europe, we've had to ask, is it worth getting stuck in France with a massive bill and an empty tank? Here's the plan. We're taking a more efficient vehicle for peace of mind, and instead of hunting for free airs or camping car parks, we're pivoting to Airbnbs, little hotels, boutique places. We're leaving the van parked here in Ripon, where the staff can keep a close eye on her while we're gone. And we've already booked 10 days across 6 amazing spots, starting in Dieppe, then going down through Chartres, Tours, Royan, Saint-Hilaire-de-Riez and La Boule. We're spending 3 days in Tours specifically to visit Le Moulin Fort camping, which is where we used to work. And we're really excited to have a little walk around there and a reminisce. I'm sure you'll like it. And after those first 10 days, we're letting the weather maps decide our path. But we want to hear from you. Which chateau should we visit while we're in the area? What places, any particular places? What do you want to see? Get your suggestions into the comment section below. Do it quickly, because by the time you watch this, we'll already be setting off. I might put this on a day early, actually, on a Saturday. Anyway, it's a bit sad leaving our home on wheels behind, but this is a new chapter for the channel. Make sure you're subscribed to see how this car versus motorhome experiment actually plays out and how much it costs. We set off on Monday, and we'll see you in France. Ciao for now. Ciao, Cath.
Au revoir.
Oh, yes. Au revoir. Oh.